You're now tuned into the 411 podcast, where everyday conversations lead to financial awareness. Powered by the Black Diamond Consultations Network. This is your sanctuary for self-discovery, healing, and personal growth. Here, we explore what it means to live debt-free, not just financially, but spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Every episode is part of a journey across our weekly mentorship series, Spiritual Sundays, Mental Mondays, Transformational Tuesdays, Wisdom Wednesdays, Coaching Sessions Thursdays, and Financial Fridays. Each day holds space for wisdom, clarity, and real conversations. We want you to join in on the conversations with us. Connect across all social media platforms at Laren Gaines. We are broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, X, and Daily Motion. Text your thoughts anytime to our official hotline at 609-200-1098. So grab your journal, open your mind, and prepare to go beyond the surface. Here, we don't just talk, we transform lives. And now, here's your guide through it all, entrepreneur, mentor, and financial coach, Laren Gaines.
Welcome on in to another episode of the 411 podcast. So I don't know about any of y'all out there listening. I want to say good morning, but man, that intro was it. I was here rocking. I was ready to turn the mic on earlier and rewind that because, yeah, that was it. So I was really feeling that intro. So yeah, we here. We are here on episode 47. We're going to talk about people who make good money, but they just can't stop spending it. So it's all about this debt-free living. You know, I focus on debt-free living from the spiritual, mental, physical, and financial realms. And tonight we're speaking about compulsive spending and having some self-control, having some financial self-control. And like I said, I got some good topics here to discuss. And before we do it, of course, I have to give a very special thank you to my executive producer. I want to thank God for giving me another opportunity to come out here and give y'all the 411 podcast. Without him, none of this will be possible. And without each and every one of you out there listening, supporting, subscribing, texting me, DMing me, just showing up the way that you know how to show up, I have to say thank you so much. I could not do it without you. Want to give a very special shout out to Miss SOS. Thank you so much for being a day one. And everyone out there as well, the new people who are joining. If you're listening for the first time, the best thing that you can possibly do is share this podcast out. This is the month, August. We started this whole movement in August 6 years ago. So in a couple weeks, we will be celebrating 6 years of doing the 411 podcast. And I'm so excited. I'm going to invite my friends to, come in and join in live with me here. And we'll celebrate where we are at during, the anniversary, the 6 year anniversary. I'm curious to see what episode we'll be on if we get to 52 episodes, which I know we will. But when we get to 52 episodes, we have really made an impact in 2026. 52 episodes really means that we have made an impact on so many people for 2026. But I know that we are going to surpass that. So I'm just very curious to see where Disc 6 vitality goes for 2026. And like I said, I have some great things coming up for 27, which is really going to catapult this whole movement to the next level. Again, could not do it without each and every one of you. Best thing that you can do is please hit that like button, subscribe, tag a friend, text a friend, share this podcast out with anybody that you possibly can that you know that needs a little bit of financial literacy, encouragement, because you know what we do here. Yeah, so excited to be here. So, with that being said, y'all know what time it is. Let's get into it. Song of the day. I absolutely love this lady. 2006. Miss Corinne Bailey Ray. Song of the day, Trouble Sleeping. I go through a Corinne phase every year where I just start listening to this album nonstop over and over again for maybe like a week or two. She reminds me of like a Sade. You don't really hear much about her, but when she comes out, she makes a big impact, and she most certainly did in 2006 with her self-titled album, Corinne Bailey Ray. Song of the day, Trouble Sleeping. So when people are compulsive, when they spend, when they have no self-control financially, and let's not even just take it just to financial, when they just have no self-control and they're very compulsive. Sometimes they run off at the mouth. Sometimes they say things that they shouldn't say. And now they created a situation. Whether you created a situation financially, whether you created a situation spiritually, whether you created a situation mentally because of the things that are going on and on and on in your mind, these scenarios and these broken records that we play over and over and over again. Some of these things are not even true. They didn't even come here yet. Some people are filled with fear instead of being filled with faith. And then at the end of the night, they have trouble sleeping. Yeah. At the end of the night, some people out there have trouble sleeping. So now I had to, do my homework and get this together for y'all tonight here. We chase things. I don't know who I'm speaking to. I'm only speaking from real life experiences. Chasing things, money, cars, clothes, dreams, whatever the case may be. Last week we spoke about not having a healthy balance. I want to take you to Matthew 16, verse 26. For what is a man profiteth if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? See, they talk about selling your soul, and I equivalate to selling your soul to trouble sleeping, because now you can't sleep at night because of the decisions that you've made, because of the compulsiveness, because of the lack of self control, because of the situations that you got yourself into, trying to gain the whole world, trying to be on top of the world, trying to be everything and anything to everybody. And now you have trouble sleeping. And, this is a financial show. I have to give it to you like this. A lot of Americans are caught up in consumer debt. And you might say, Lauren, well, what is consumer debt? Because I haven't really had it broken down to me like that. Let's start with credit cards. Let's start with student loans. Let's start with these car payments that people have, these mortgages that they've got themselves into that they can't afford. Buy now, pay later. All of these things, consumer debt. Proverbs 22:7, the rich ruleth over the poor, and a borrower is a servant to the lender. You think that you own that car, but I have to say, absolutely not. You think that you own that home, but I have to say, absolutely not. Yes, you got those plane tickets. Yes, you got all of those things that you put on a credit card, but you do not technically own any of those things. And you, my friend, are a servant to the lender. And you're constantly robbing Peter to pay Paul, digging yourself in deeper trenches, and you have a master. This is where we talk about selling your soul. You got so deep in, you're getting yourself so deep in. In some cases, some of us may never ever be able to pull ourselves out. And a lot of it comes from having no self control because you gotta have it, wanna have it, need to keep up with the Joneses, gotta keep up with the Kardashians, gotta keep up with whoever else it is out there. Next door neighbor, the person on your job. Sometimes we are competing with our own spouses. What kind of nonsense is this that we have going on? That's what happens when you get wrapped up and trapped up with the wrong person. Proverbs 25:28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls. When you have no control over your own spirit, think about it. A city that is broken down and can't even protect themselves from an enemy because you just had to have that new car. You just had to have that new outfit that you need to go ahead to take on this vacation that you have bought on credit. Do you have trouble sleeping? Some of us do. But the joy when you can sleep well, the joy when you don't have any trouble sleeping and you don't have any financial issues that are plaguing you, ready to come and take you out like a thief in the night. Song of the day, Trouble Sleeping by Corrine Ray. I love that lady. I love this song. And I love the whole album. I highly recommend y'all, especially if you haven't heard it. I know I've spoken about it several times on here. If you've been, listening for a minute, you've heard me, feature this album several times. But yeah, that's definitely one of them. Trouble Sleeping. All right. So it's that time. We're going to go ahead and bring in my friend, author, poet, Birdman 313. What's going on? What's
What's
going
going?
on?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. I got a question for you.
Quick one. Yeah.
Do you have trouble sleeping?
Yep.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
No, seriously, ever since, I had that vertigo 3 years ago, I have
Uh,
troubles, man. I be up to 2 and 3 o'clock at night, man.
oh, okay. Well, at least it's from that. At least it's not from any financial nonsense.
Oh no, no, I'm past that now.
Right, 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 right. So what's going on?
Nothing, man. Just been working on some music, some chords for. I'm getting ready to send over here to a friend of mine's bass chords. Working on new poetry and new video. That's what I was doing before I came on here. Working on some videos that I put together and I just downloaded on my YouTube channel.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, and staying out the heat, man. I'm gonna tell you that now.
Oh no. Come on now. So listen, it's August. So for those of you that live in the area where I live at, this is where I start to feel a certain way because we know exactly what's getting ready to happen after August.
Well, you
Now,
know what? They said, hey, you thought it was hot last month. Oh, y'all, we just walked into the heater now.
Well, bring it here because I mean, I will say, I will tell you that I was walking around yesterday and I was like, this heat is hitting a little bit different. It was actually I could see the skin color changing. So I said, okay, this is what I've been waiting for. But uh, it's you know what I'm saying, short lived.
Yeah,
You know, it's August. We know what's getting ready to happen. But
yeah,
last
man.
year,
Monday it was 101, and I went for I did a couple of laps in the park, and I had to come in. I had to get out that heat. I had to get out of it.
listen, I love all of the heat. I will say that Texas is definitely on my radar. I know I've said that several times, but for some reason, when you were explaining the heat this time around, that it extends into September, I'm thinking to myself, I might need to visit there. Now to talk to me about January. What is January like?
That's tricky there, because
Uh-huh.
hey man, we could have it could get the weather do change, and it'll get like maybe it's in the 50s, and then we'll have like 2 weeks where it's cold, and then it fluctuate from 40 to 50.
Now,
Sometimes it'll be a low 60, but it just depends, man. You never know how January and February gonna be. Because
set.
I mean, a couple years ago we had that freeze,
Oh
man.
yeah, yeah,
It,
yeah.
it ruined everything, man. It ruined the banana plants we have. It ruined the peaches. It ruined the grapes. I mean, the mulberry, all that, man, is ruined. And you know
Wait,
what? It's funny. It's funny. The banana tree grows, but there's no bananas on there now.
wait a minute. That's crazy. So for all right, so first of all, for the record, stay away from Texas in January and February. Even though you said it might be this, that, the next, the other, all of that you said does not sound good to me at all. But
Yeah.
now I'm intrigued. You got banana plants, peaches, and grapes and all that stuff in your backyard?
Well, we got the plants. We
But
got
you
the banana trees is in the front. We got a peach tree in the front, and then we have one section that has like six, maybe six peach trees.
Wow. Okay. All right. So
But
you really
uh,
don't have to go anywhere for all of that stuff, huh?
I mean, we can't eat none of it because there's
No.
nothing there.
Yeah, that's no good. But
Yeah,
at one point you were getting bananas and stuff like that.
yeah, yeah. One year, and we had a bunch of bananas.
Wow.
And then, like I said, that freeze hit that. I forgot what year it was, in February in 17. And you know what? Since then, banana trees are grow, but they don't even get as tall as they used to get, man.
Hmm. Wow.
Because it was one year I never forget. The banana tree was, I mean, they was one of them was tall. I mean, they had two of them that was tall. Just before we left to go to Vegas, it fell over. One of them
Oh.
did.
Oh, because it
Hey
was so
man, we
tall.
come
Yeah.
back from Vegas and the other one had fell over. And
Hmm.
the bananas that they had on it was ruined. They weren't no good.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. All right. Well, we going somewhere. I guess is semi close to you. Sacramento. You ever been there before?
Yes. Yes, when I was doing restoration work, man, I went up there to do some work. It's Sacramento like San Francisco, where in the daytime it's hot, but at nighttime, I don't care what year it is, you better have a jacket.
Oh yeah, now say nope. You don't, it doesn't matter what time of year it is. You need a jacket. That's craziness.
Yeah, but one thing I know, because I had a cousin that stayed up there, aunt and cousin, and you know, it was all mostly cow town. They talk about Texas, but
Hmm.
hey, man, that's the cow town for the state of California.
Hmm.
All you see
Interesting.
is field. You see fields and you see, cows, man.
Yeah, nah, that don't remind me of. I mean, not remind me. That doesn't give me a good picture of some place that I really want to be when you think about California.
But I'm sure it has changed, over the years, because this was a few years back. Like I said,
Hmm.
when I was doing restoration work, and I had already heard about it, how it was out there, and I'm quite sure it done changed some.
Well, one day maybe we will see that, but that'll probably be the last, uh, one of the last places. You know what?
Hey, I don't know if you know anything about basketball, but that's why Sacramento Kings ain't no good, man. Them players don't want to be there. They don't want to be there, man. Don't want to be there, man. Because there's nowhere. There's really nowhere for them to
Right,
go.
just by basically what you're saying, I get it. That's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
All right, so I gotta back this thing up. We forgot. We didn't forget anything, but I was jumping ahead. We need a number. We need a number. What number you got for us tonight? Three.
3.
That's a powerful number. That's a powerful number. And right up my alley here. So we talking about an emergency savings fund. So you want to aim to save 8 months of living costs in an emergency fund. I know that it sounds like a lot, but you can and will do this. Don't worry. I don't expect you to snap your fingers and have 8 months saved up pronto. I get that it will take time, but what's important is that you make your goal to eventually set aside enough money so that you could cover your living costs, which includes food, rent, mortgage, utilities, bills, gas, insurance for 8 months. Now, some people might ask why that long? Because as we saw during the last recession, as we still see, many people are experiencing it. It can take time to find a new job if you are laid off. 8 months equals a peace of mind. So, Birdman, what do you think about that? Saving an emergency fund.
That's a good idea, but it is really hard. Because Texas is still, and I keep hearing this, but it's kind of strange. They said that minimum wage here is still 7.25.
What?
Yeah, and you got some people. That's how they gotta have a job. They gotta have a place to stay. So you'll find most places people it be like 5 and 6 people staying. They want to know why it's so many staying in one dwelling. It's because can't make no money.
Now, see, that's so interesting because in like retail, I was always told, and I've seen it too. I've had friends who've worked in retail here in, New Jersey, New York, the Northeast, and they
Uh-huh.
just want a change. They just because it starts to get overly saturated up here. Once you know somebody, they go to this
Yeah.
establishment, they go to that establishment, then you start to get blocked. Gatekeepers. So I know a lot of people who will move to Texas to do the same stuff that they were doing here in the Northeast. So if you work in retail or fast food or something like that, from what I've seen and been told, you can find a job without a problem.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't want to
Mm,
take what they're paying, and it's always been like that here, though. I mean, you hear it all the time. Where, well, you go find somebody else. I'm not working for that little bit of
mm.
money. But some places, don't get me wrong. It's like I see on the door, and they say, "Hey, $15 an hour," but then it's like you got to pay rent, and rent is the average one bedroom here is like 12.50 a month
For a one bedroom.
for
Mm,
one bedroom,
I mean,
and then you got to have transportation. I'm gonna tell you, Texas is a must for transportation. Yeah, you can ride the bus, But man, you got, I mean, the bus system now, man, so much shooting going on that it's best to try to get your own vehicle so you can come and go when you get ready. You don't have to pull up. Well, you got to deal with the idiots on the road
Mm-hmm.
anyway, but you got to deal with it's more on the bus, man. There's so much shooting going on, and it's just, oh man, I haven't rode the bus in, oh man, like 12 years, 12, 13 years.
I
And
was
I'm
about
so
to say,
thankful
because
for
that's
that.
craziness. Yeah, that's something else. Mm.
Yeah.
Who would have known? Interesting. That's like close
Yeah.
to Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has some crazy stuff like that where minimum wage is like $7, $8 right about now.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're gonna go on to Sacramento. And we're gonna help out who we got here. We are gonna help out Miss Teresa. She says, I don't think I have a money problem. I think I have a self-control problem. That's that was hard to write. People at work think I'm one of the responsible ones. I'm the department manager. I train new employees. I stay organized. I solve problems all day. Then I leave work and become someone I barely recognize. Last Thursday, I stopped at Target for laundry detergent. I walked out almost 2 hours later with two throw blankets, scented candles, a new coffee maker, picture frames, fall decorations, three books I probably won't read until next year, and a receipt for $417. $417. You just went in there for laundry detergent and you came out with a receipt for $417. Now, on top of that, I forgot the laundry detergent. I laughed when I got to the car, then I cried on the drive home. The house is full of things I once convinced myself would make me feel more complete. My closets are full, my cabinets are full, my garage is full, but somehow I still feel like something is missing every time I walk into a store. My husband asked me last month why so many delivery trucks keep stopping at our house. I snapped at him, not because he was wrong, but because he was right. I finally added up what I've spent online. Excuse me, I finally added up what I've spent online shopping this year. I had to check the numbers 3 times because I thought I made a mistake. I didn't. That money could have paid off one of my credit cards completely. Instead, it's sitting on the shelves collecting dust. I'm starting to realize I'm not buying things because I need them. I'm buying because for a few minutes it feels like I've accomplished something. Then the feeling disappears, and a few days later, I'm looking for it again. How do you break the cycle when the habit isn't about the purchase, but about the temporary feeling the purchase creates? What do you have for Miss Teresa?
Wow, man. I've looked this one over, and it's, you have people who, I guess you could say, who, because the money is available, they just want to go out and spend, spend, spend. They don't care what it's for. And then you have some people who, guess when they was growing up, they didn't have the opportunity to just buy anything they want. And then you have the people you
Mm,
call hoarders who just, buy things and just have it around. So when they get to talking to their friends, they can say, "Oh, I got that. Oh, I got this." You know, and to me, she has no self control of herself. She can't even go in the store and get what she's supposed to get because she's grabbing everything else. And I mean, I know people like that. I grew up with people that was like that. As soon as they
mm,
got some money, y'all, they just spending like it's
mhm.
no tomorrow. And I always would say, uh, "Do you are you saving anything?" Oh, I can't save nothing. Well, because you can't save nothing is because You always spending it on stuff that you
Mm-hmm.
don't need.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, that too, I've kind of fault the school district for not teaching when you're young about budgeting
Absolutely.
your money.
Now,
Just because you have money don't mean you should spend it.
if
My
now I want to say if they
Go
taught
ahead.
people about money, there would be no reason for us to be here. I know that that sounds terrible, but it's the truth. If they taught, if they, the whole
No, yeah,
system would
that's
be broke. The world wouldn't go round. So they do it on purpose.
yes. My dad used to always tell me that. He said, just because you have the money don't mean you should spend it.
Mm,
And I kind of looked at him like, you know, because like I said, it was being young, it's just, you don't think about them things. But as you get older, you start understanding that what he was trying to tell me is spend the money for something that's useful, something that you're going to use. Just don't spend it because
mm-hmm,
you have
mm-hmm.
it.
I used to get mad when they would tell me that.
And
I, I,
yes. And and I come to figure out over the years, just like you just got through saying, the reason why they don't teach things like this in school, because a lot of times I don't even think some of the
yeah,
teachers know
what?
this.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, I'm serious. I don't even think they
A lot of the
realize that
teachers
either.
are in debt. A lot of them still have student loans and all types of nonsense. And yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, it's a thing where, like I said, when she was growing up, family couldn't, struggling, and she didn't have all the things that she wanted to say. Like I always, like I've said in previous, programs, it's sometimes it's what you want and what you need. That's what you gotta do. And that's what I think what it is it's the things that she want or the things that she need. Like I said, how you gonna go in there and spend $417 and still didn't get what you went in there to get?
Uh, I don't get it.
That that's confusing. When I read that, I just like, wow, man. I mean, at least when I go in and I overspend, at least I grab
Hmm.
what I wanted, and that because that's the first thing I grab. You know, um, I'll go in and get that first, and then you start walking around wondering, and oh, this look nice, and for I understand females, man, they everything, they be in there, they be like, oh, this looks so nice, this would look nice on my mantle, oh, this would look nice on the table. Yeah, they realize that, oh, I didn't really need that. I already have a couple of these at the
Hmm.
house.
Hmm. I like how you said there's a couple different types of scenarios. You said somebody who didn't have much money growing up, and I know exactly what you're speaking about because, like what you were saying, what your father used to tell you. Whenever they would say stuff like that to me, I would catch an attitude and be like, "What you mean? This is my couple dollars." Most of the time, it was a dollar. They give me a dollar, and as soon as I get it, I run to the corner store and it be gone. And when I tell you within seconds. And then my grandfather would say, "Boy, you let that money burn a hole in your pocket," or something like that, something along those lines. But I used
Yes, oh man, my dad he used to he used to say that all the time. He said, "Boy, you can't keep a
it
nickel in
used
your
to
pocket."
get me so mad because then I
You,
wouldn't have no money. So when you get money,
yeah,
you spend money, and that's because there wasn't really no financial literacy being taught at a young age. And that was their way
yeah,
of teaching it, but it really didn't come across, and at least for me anyway. So when I got
yeah,
money, just like Miss Teresa here, when I got money, I did exactly the same thing. I want to buy everything because I could. So you did a good job of mentioning that, scenario when it's that person who didn't have a lot of money growing up and they finally get money. Now they feel that they have to have everything. And then what was the other type of person? You said there was two other people.
Oh yeah, well, it's the want and the needs. That's always gonna be. Is it something that you need or something that you want?
Yeah, that's
And then I'm gonna tell you something else too. What happened was when I got my apartment and I was by myself, it was just my income. Well, I had to tighten up then, because I just couldn't go out and just buy stuff randomly because I was putting all the money aside so that I could pay my car note, pay my rent, pay my lights, and that's when it gets really, really tough right there when you live by yourself. So she has a husband. So right now she don't feel the pinch. But I'm quite sure if she was living by herself, she would have or she would learn how to have control over her spending.
well, that's interesting because there are some people who do live by themselves and they still can't get it together and they end up taking out loans and credit cards, and then all of a sudden the walls come crashing in and they get a car repossession, they get evicted, or they're asking people to bail them out. So the fact that most people, when they got to pay for all of these things themselves, they're like, you know what? I need to start to do things a little bit differently. Let let me
Yeah.
watch how I'm spending. But some people just don't, which is interesting to me.
For me, I say the best way is to learn how to stop spending
Hmm.
recklessly. Just don't go in any stores unless you have to go.
Right.
Like grocery stores, yeah, you have to go in the grocery store. But like going to the malls and stopping in like at Targets and stores like that, try to avoid it and cut back on going there so much and make a
Absolutely.
list.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Hmm.
know it may it may sound crazy, but if you make a list of what you're
Hmm.
gonna get and you stick by
Hmm.
that list, it would
Absolutely.
help. It would help because I know, hey, I couldn't. There was a time where I couldn't walk in no record store, none. If it was a music store, I couldn't walk in there because I'm like, I'm going in here and get the Isley Brothers, one Isley brother. Next thing you know, I got the Isley brother, the Ohio players, Sly Stone and Bootsy Collins, and all that. And I get up there and I pay for it. But then when I walk out the door, I'm saying to myself, man, I was only gonna get the Isley Brothers, but look who I
Mm.
ended up with.
And it wasn't too bad about what you ended up with, but it was uh what did that bill look like? What did your wallet look like afterwards?
Yeah, but then what? Because I used to do playlists for people. I used to make cassettes and CDs, and so like I could kind of recoup a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
it, because that's what I would do. I would go home. I'm like, okay, I got to try to make a little bit of this back up. So I would go home and people that I knew, it was a store over by where my parents stayed at. And the guy used to tell me, he said, hey, man, he said, if you can burn me some CDs, because he was paying somebody else and he was paying them,
Mm-hmm.
really top dollar. And I would burn them for him, take him up there to him. And he said, I'd rather deal with you than to deal with him. I wasn't trying to get rich. I was just trying to recoup some of
Right,
what
right.
I, spent. And my dad used to always say, he said, man, you come in here all the time with all these albums. And that's when albums was, and then when I told him what I was doing, and he was like, well, you know what? It's your money. He said, but when you get broke, Don't come here asking your mom or me for
Right.
anything.
Yeah. I feel you on that one. And then that'll teach you too. When you ain't got nobody to
Yeah,
run to. See, if you keep bailing people out and you
right.
keep doing things for people who are reckless and they have no self-control, then they'll never learn their lesson. That's why they say the worst thing you could do is to give somebody money, especially if they haven't learned
Yeah.
their lesson.
It's funny because one time I went and asked my dad for $5. He looked at me. He said, "You don't have $5." I said, "If I had it, I wouldn't be asking you." He said, "Didn't you just get paid 3 days ago?" I said, "Dad, that was 3 days ago." And I don't have it. And so then I would go in, I wouldn't say nothing. So my mom be done heard it. She said, "Don't tell your dad this." And she'll slide me the $5, and then she'll question me, "What you gonna do with this $5?" you know, I just say, "Hey, for me to get back and forth to work to have some
Mhm.
lunch or something like that." And she, okay, but I would always give
Yeah,
her the
yeah.
money back. And it was funny because whenever I gave her money. She don't do it in front of your dad. I'm like, okay. So I would give her money, and
Right,
she would
right,
give me
right.
money, or she'll say, "Hey, you got enough to eat at the house?" Yeah. Well, I cooked this food. Take this home so you don't have to go
Mhm.
buy no food. I'm
Mhm.
like, okay. And my dad be like, "You come in here." He said, "Every time I see you come in here and you got pots going out the door, bowls," and I'm like, "Hey, it's better than
Right,
throwing
right.
it away." You know,
That's
but hey, I did learn to be more sensible with spending money that way.
that's what moms are for, right? They always give us the
Yeah.
hookup.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I mean, it seems like Miss Teresa, she kind of knows, but she wants to know how you break the cycle. It's like you know better. My thing is, if you know better, you do better. You gave some good pointers with
Exactly.
the list. I definitely think that that's great. Get in, get out. Um, how about this for the first time? If you have some self control, you got to have real self control for this. That little laundry detergent and those things that you need, those little here or there, order online. But
Yeah.
that's it. Just order that. Maybe if she's not actually in the store, she can order it online and have it delivered to her door. That way she won't, you know, be crazy in there. But if she hasn't really figured that out, she could be crazy online too. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but
Well, didn't she say her husband said there's always a truck stopping in front of
oh
their house
yeah, yeah,
delivering
yeah. So
something?
you're right about that. Yeah.
So yeah, she just
Just
have
gotta
that.
got
She just have that uncontrollable urge to spend money.
that's a deep one. That's a lot. This is spiritual, this is mental, this is physical, this is financial, this is everything.
Yeah. And like I said, it's rooted because to me, I always feel like that. Okay, she didn't
Mhm.
have it, but then she might have a sister who has don't have an issue with buying stuff like that, or a brother that can go out because their job. Because I remember you said something about being jealous
Mhm.
of your neighbors. Or I mean, you got brothers and sisters that's jealous of one another. I mean, especially sisters, because this one brother is doing. I mean, this one sister's doing so well. You should be doing the
Yeah.
same thing. So you competing with them, or you have brothers like that where one of the brothers, he every time you see him, he ride in a nice vehicle, he dressed nice, but then again, you don't know what
Mhm,
headaches they
mhm.
have.
Yeah. Craziness. Well, it's not
Oh
crazy,
yeah,
it's reality. So many people go through it. And we just here to give you some, just go through some real life experiences that we have and hopefully you'll be able to break through. But yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we might have to revisit something like this again because I don't think we really cracked the surface with this. This is pretty deep.
Yeah, she just got to get some discipline on
Yeah.
spending money. That's
Mm.
all.
All right. So, what you got for us this week? Where are you headed to this week?
I think tomorrow night I'll be doing an open mic out of Austin. It's called Poetry and Music. Was it's actually the lady that I do the videos for. She does an open mic, and I think tomorrow is the night that they have. Saturday, be back in Austin again with open mic, and it's gonna be we're gonna read poems from old poets, not our own. Poets that we grew up reading, or as time gone on, poets that we like that are no
Mm-hmm.
longer here, and that's about it. And then, like I said, I'm writing, I'm working on videos, and I'm putting bass tunes together. I put something together. I got to redo them because of the
Okay.
background. So I got to go and because I tried to do it today. I was gonna put some videos with with a bass tune, and it didn't work. And before I even got so deep off into it, it's like I laid down 6 tracks and I had to delete
Mm.
all of them because yeah. But I don't have nothing else to do, so hey, it's cool.
Now, where can we get your books at? Let people know where they can get their books.
Okay, you can go to Amazon or Goodreads, Birdman313. You can go to YouTube, which I've been posting videos for the last 6 weeks. YouTube.com/author poet Birdman31355. You can go to Spotify, have videos there on the Coffee, Wine, and Words platform podcast. That's what I forget to say that it's the Coffee, Wine, and Word podcast. I'm on Instagram. I post videos there. I post poems. I post pictures. Um, Birdman31355.
All right, that's what's up. Well, as
Yes.
always, I want to say thank you so much for coming through, add an insight. You
Yeah.
definitely brought some good wisdom tonight here on this scenario that we had here with Miss Teresa. So,
Yeah. Yeah. As always, thank you for having me on, and I appreciate it. And I do my best to, I try to speak the truth. I'm not trying to lead nobody
no,
on.
I got
So,
you. That's what we need. That's what we need. All
yeah.
right, so I will be talking to you soon, and yeah,
Well,
I'll be talking to you. Have a good night. All right.
okay.
All
You
right.
do
Take
the
care now.
same. Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Author, poet, Birdman 313. I want to thank each and every one of you for out there listening. Thank you, especially when you made us a part of your morning routine. And I always open up with good morning and I send y'all off with good night. That's just the way it is. And it doesn't even matter what time of day it is. It's just what I do. Good morning, good night. I could be recording the show at 6 o'clock in the morning, but when I sign off, I'm always going to say good night. So I thought that that was pretty interesting as I sit back and analyze this whole process, this whole recording process. Like I said, we are coming up on 6 years. So I will be inviting my friends in to, just chop it up like we did when we first started in 2020. Very random. I know it's a financial show, but we just going for that one day. Just do something a little different. You get to hear from the originals that, have been with me since day one, all the way up until where we are here. I'm gonna try to bring Miss SOS back. I'm gonna try to bring Alex Coquito back and see if they want to be a part of this movement. Nate Perry, people like that. So we're gonna see. So it's a couple weeks. It's the 27th. So if you want to put that on your calendar, the 27th, somewhere around that, start to check us out. And that'll be on a good coaching sessions Thursday. If you heard anything that you like about debt-free living, I focus on debt-free living from the spiritual, mental, physical, and financial. And I'm gonna break this down real quick because I got a few minutes. First, I truly believe, and this is my process. This is just a regular, everyday person, and this is how I figured it out. I focus on the spiritual aspect first, and then I went to the mental. And then because I focus on the spiritual and the mental simultaneously, I started to show up in the physical differently. I started to spend my money differently. I started to feel differently, think differently about my money. And then, what do you know? Spiritual, mental, physical. And all of a sudden, when I opened up my bank account, I didn't get all of that anxiety that I used to have. I didn't get crazed. I didn't get emotionally. Let me back that up. I didn't get emotional about the numbers. So again, I focus on debt-free living from spiritual, mental, physical, on the financial lenses. If you want to learn out more about that, please head on over to LaronGaines.com. You can text me at 609 200 1098. Sign up for that free 15-minute consultation. Just ask me whatever question you have, and we'll take it from there. And we'll see if, the coaching sessions is a good fit for you. And on that note, I want to say thank you all so much for joining. Stay tuned. Lots of great things are coming. And I will see you when I see you. Take care, y'all, and have a good night.